In this video, I'm going to show you everything that we're growing on our less than 1/4 acre backyard homestead. Right off the bat, I want to start off with this beautiful flower garden. Every single year, my daughter wants her own dedicated space, so I wound up providing her 2 raised beds, and now they're just growing with all of these beautiful zinnias. And oh, look at this butterfly right here. Look at this. This is exactly why you plant flowers in your garden or on your homestead. They're so important to bring in the pollinators. These are going to do all of the work for you. Bringing in all this beauty is exactly what's going to make your garden come to life. It's only the beginning of June, but for us, that means the strawberries are already on their way out. But this year, they were so productive. We were harvesting dozens of strawberries every single day for weeks. So much so that my daughter actually got tired of coming out here and harvesting strawberries. But they just did absolutely amazing this year. And now they're starting to send off their runners, which are going to grow even more strawberries for us. Next year is going to be even more productive. Over here, we've got grow bags that are full of potatoes. And you probably saw the reel and the short I did on this. But this year, I kind of ran out of gardening space and I didn't have anywhere to plant our potatoes. So what I decided to do was put them all in 7-gallon grow bags. So in each one of these grow bags, I planted one potato plant, and we've got over 30 grow bags all around the property. So I'm expecting easily 300 potatoes this year, a mixture of Norland Red, Adirondack Blue, and some Yukon Gold. We're gonna be swimming in them really, really soon. Right here, we've got our herb garden, and it's very much in a transitionary stage right now. I mean, look at all this. This was cilantro, and now we've got some fresh coriander. Look at all these coriander seeds. These will just naturally self-seed on the ground and also in this garden bed and provide a cilantro for like the rest of the season. It's definitely a cooler season crop, but it's going to continue to grow out. I've got an extra broccoli plant here that's finally starting to come out. We'll see if it actually gives us a broccoli head because the temperatures are really getting pretty warm here. We've got some sage that's phasing out. This oregano looks amazing. It's just growing right out of the bed right here. We're probably going to start getting some flowers on it soon. And we found this trailing rosemary, and this is just so cool. I love how it's just spilling over the garden bed here. It's not like your typical bush rosemary. And some fresh chamomile. Oh man, making tea with this is just so good. You can come out here, pick them right off the plant, put them in some hot water, and you have some amazing fresh chamomile tea. But this is what I've been absolutely loving this year, the green stalk. All of this is grown in just 2 square feet. It's amazing. We've got cucumbers, we've got peppers, green beans, actual tomatoes, marigolds. I mean, you don't need a large space in order to grow a thriving and productive garden. Just look at these peppers on here. This is amazing. So those are all of the different ways that we're growing in containers, but now let's head on into the garden, see what's growing, and do some harvesting. So we're in the beginning of June, and for us, we're transitioning. It's a hard transition from spring to summer. And that means we have to start planting out all of the summer vegetables. And I just put in this cattle panel trellis right here. Just planted some winter squashes, 4 different varieties. So in a few short months, this thing is just going to be covered with greens, hanging down all those different types of winter squashes. And that's how we're going to set ourselves up to eat from our garden, fresh produce from our garden in the fall and even the winter. It's a great way to extend your season, even though you're not growing something out in the garden. We've got dozens of carrots left, and my kids absolutely love coming out here and just ripping the carrots out and just nibbling on them. Let's see if we can find a good one really quick. All right, this is gonna be a good one. Nice, look at that. Man, that's a deep carrot, multicolored too. Pretty cool. These are some of our glow stick carrots. This whole row is gonna be different colors. I mean, we probably got another one right here. Oh, not quite ready yet, but you can see the variety of colors that we're getting out of that single row of carrots. Over here, I just transitioned this garden bed from growing brassicas like cabbages and our Brussels sprouts. We've got some potatoes that I interplanted, and I'm gonna refresh this bed. I just planted green beans in here. You can see them already starting to pop up. This is really gonna help to add some nutrients back to the soil, especially nitrogen from those heavy feeding crops, and get us ready for the next succession. Behind me, I've got our pepper bed, and it is looking so good this year. We've got 2 rows of peppers on the outside, and then we've got some more zinnias in here. And just look at these pepper plants. They're dark green, they're thriving, and we've got peppers in here growing already. Some are always going to grow faster than others, but look at these lunchbox peppers in here. Like, look at that beautiful purple color. Man, it looks so good. And one thing that I have learned in the past from growing peppers, and I will never change this from now on, is grow them in a hedge. Grow them close together and with a companion plant, because they actually prefer a little bit of shade. Last year, I grew my peppers in a single row in my raised beds, and they were the worst performing peppers that I've ever had in the last 7 years. So I highly recommend, if you're growing peppers, keep them close together. They like a little bit of shade, and they're just doing amazing. Over here, we've got the new tomato trellis, and right now we're using it to mainly grow our determinate tomatoes. So these are all of our paste tomatoes. Check this out right here. Look at this cluster we've got. Look how amazing these tomatoes look. And this is happening all the way down the line. So I'm actually going to be getting ready to plant my second session of tomatoes for the year. We planted these in the spring. These are going to produce, and as these are getting ready to produce, once I see them start turning red, I'm going to be planting my next succession of tomatoes, so that way when fall rolls around, we'll be continuously harvesting all of our paste tomatoes so we can make a ton of sauce to eat in the fall and the winter. This is what I've been so excited about. Cabbage moth, classic. But look at this beautiful cabbage. I'm going to harvest this one right now. I'm just going to peel off some of these outside leaves. I'm pretty sure this is an early Jersey Wakefield, and just look at how big it is, how beautiful it is. And there's literally no pest damage on this. I didn't even cover this cabbage. Just kind of break it back and forth like this. Oh, that one just popped out. Look at actually these little baby cabbage heads forming around the bottom. Like little Brussels sprouts. But man, look at that. I can't actually get this all out right now. Oh, let's break it off the side. There we go. Man, we're gonna be eating good tonight. Look at that though. How gorgeous that is. Man, what do you think we should make with cabbage? I always try to figure out different recipes, and that's one thing that I don't really show on our channel very much, is what I actually do with all of our food, because I just enjoy like the planting and the harvesting a lot more than making cooking videos. And there's so many creators out there that are making amazing cooking videos. So if you've got a cabbage recipe that you absolutely love, let me know down in the comments. And while I'm over here, let's check on the onions. If you've been following us all this year, you know that I had a huge setback with my onions this spring. I planted them in the ground, and then we got a really late and hard frost, so they all pretty much died back. But now, it doesn't even look like they care. Look at the size of these onions right here. And I actually planted them closer together. Check how big this bulb is. I mean, I'm gonna let them continue to grow, but I only planted them 4 inches apart. So we've got some that are really large, and then we've got some that are even smaller. And what I'm waiting for before I actually harvest them is for their greens to flop over. Once their greens flop over, I'll be able to harvest all of these, and then we're gonna go ahead and cure them to get them ready for storage and eating. But you literally could just pick these fresh and eat them right out of the ground. These beets also look amazing. Last year I barely got any beets, so this year I'm so excited to actually have these. I'm gonna pick a couple of them. Look at that, beautiful. And I'm gonna pick like 3 or 4 of these, because if you come in here, you can see how they grow in clusters, because a beet seed is actually a compound seed. So you'll only need to plant 1 seed, and then you get clusters of beets like this. And what I like to do is just come in on the top and just pick them out, because now I'm providing space for these ones to grow like a little bit larger, but they all just look so beautiful. We've got pretty much a mirror image of the garden. I am kind of OCD, and I like things to be symmetrical. So the garden layout is exactly the same on this side, and we're pretty much growing the same things. Look at some of these peppers over here though. These Nassau peppers, are some of my favorite peppers, and look at the size of these already. Man, I'm gonna pick a couple of them just so we can eat them for breakfast, but I'm not gonna pick a ton because I do like them to be a little bit bigger. But just look at the quality of this pepper. You're just not gonna get this at the grocery store. You're just not. That is one of my favorite things about growing a garden at home is half of the varieties, maybe even more, you just can't get at the grocery store. So growing at home allows you to grow varieties that you will never be able to get, and you can just grow the things that you love. And there's nothing better about coming outside and just picking anything that you want and that you know and love and bringing it back inside and cooking it up fresh in the kitchen. It's just amazing. One thing that I'm waiting for, and they're so close, are garlic, and they look so good. You could see that they're starting to yellow and starting to die back. They're getting really, really close. But one thing that I was waiting for was this right here. These are the garlic scapes. This is signaling to me that the garlic is coming to the end of its life and it's almost ready to pick. So what I'm going to go through and do is actually break all of these off because this is diverting energy to the garlic scape. This is the flower that's the garlic would produce and how it would create seeds. So I want to take all the energy and make sure that's going down to the garlic bulb to make that gold plump up before we actually harvest them. But we planted pretty close to 100 garlic cloves this year of like 9 different varieties. So I'm really excited to harvest these very soon. If you love garlic like me, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel so you could see the upcoming garlic harvest. All right, that's pretty much everything we've got going on in the garden right now. But our blackberries and raspberries are growing, and I know we've got some raspberries, so let's go pick some. Oh, and before I forget, so many people have been asking me about this shirt, like, where did I get it? Well, I actually designed it myself. So if you want to support our channel and rock some Earth Nails and Tails swag, I put the link down for you in the description. Thanks so much for supporting us. So even though the strawberries are fading out, the blackberries and the raspberries are kicking in. Take a look at this. Look at these raspberries. They're gorgeous. This is probably one of the better raspberry years that we've had. Just look at that. Beautiful. So good. Let's go check out the other fruit and berries that we have on the property. I'm so hopeful about this plant this year. This is our hardy kiwi. Yeah, we're only in zone 7B or 8A, and we're growing a kiwi plant. I built this arbor a couple years ago, and the kiwi plant is actually starting to take over right now. I saw flowers on it this year. I saw bees buzzing around, so I'm really hopeful that we're going to get some fruit off this vine at some point this year. If not this year, maybe next year. But it looks gorgeous. This entrance into our chicken coop right here, I absolutely love it. Heading over this way, let's talk about our fruit trees really quick. We're not going to be getting any fruit off them for a while. We're going to get most of our fruit in the fall, late fall most likely. But we can actually see some pears growing right here on our Comise pear tree. Check this out. I'm really excited about this because this is the first year that we're actually going to get some fruit off this tree. And at the beginning of the year, you probably saw my pruning video how I actually pruned this pear tree. This pear tree was like 14 feet tall. It was incredible. And unfortunately, we got hit with fire blight, which is a bacteria that can just wreak havoc on your fruit trees. We had dozens of fruit on this tree, and now we're only left with 2 from our fire blight. So when you're identifying your fruit trees or planting fruit trees on your property, which I want everyone to do, plant perennial foods on your property. Just make sure that you're picking a variety that is resistant to pests and disease in your area. But down this row, we've got our Comise pear, we've got a couple apple trees, our Honeycrisp and our Granny Smith, and then behind me, we've got our brand new peach tree, Alberta peach, and they're all really settling in nicely. The important thing about planting fruit trees is plant them as soon as you possibly can because they do take 3 to 5 years on average to start growing fruit. But there is one type of fruit tree that I'm going to talk about really soon that can give you fruit within the first year. I'm really excited about this cattle panel this year because we've got these tomatoes and these beautiful marigolds. Look at just how big they've gotten already, protecting our soil and benefiting our tomatoes. And we've got some passion vine over here, but we're going to be growing our indeterminate tomatoes up this cattle panel trellis, and eventually, once they get large enough, they're just going to be hanging down tomatoes, and I just love it. We've got Our sun gold right here, which is just starting to produce, and it's got some great fruit set on here. We've got even more forming up here. We've got a couple Cherokee purple plants and our Virginia sweets. I absolutely love these. These are a slicing tomato, and they're also indeterminate tomatoes. So we're gonna be getting tomatoes like this all year long. How amazing is gonna be to see these tomatoes just hanging down from this trellis up overhead? It's gonna be awesome. And we've also got some super sweet 100s. I'm expecting some crazy fruit sets on these eventually. And the passion flower over here, which is so cool, being able to grow a passion fruit in zone 7B or 8A. This is Passiflora incarnata. It is one of the, if not the hardiest passion fruit that you can get, and it's edible, and it's a native. So the triple threat, absolutely love it. The one thing that you do have to be careful about though is it spreads like crazy. You could see it growing all over the property here. So luckily, it's slow growing enough where as long as you stay on top of it, you can definitely prune it out and keep it growing where you want it. One thing that I've really wanted to do, and you're probably thinking about right now with all of this stuff laying on the ground, is making a formal pathway through this area. This is our wild perennial area, and I want to build a boardwalk type pathway through this whole area, and I think it's going to look so cool and help to define all of these different spaces. I mean, we've got a kids play place over here. We've got some more fruit trees. We've got another apple. This is a Liberty apple tree, highly disease resistant. Really recommend it. It's doing fantastic. We've got some more potatoes, sweet potatoes, a ton of volunteer tomatoes, and this beautiful flower garden over here. These are all black-eyed Susans. Look how tall they are already. And within a few weeks, these are going to start to bloom out these beautiful yellow and orange flowers. And that's when we're going to see this whole garden just come to life. But the fruit tree that you can start growing right now and maybe even get fruit this year is a fig tree, and there are tons of varieties that you can grow all across the country, and this tree is just absolutely loaded this year. Check out all the figs on this tree at every single level. I've been pruning this tree a lot to shape it, and this is what happens when you actually take care of a fruit tree properly. Not only are you shaping it to your desired result, but if you do it correctly, it helps you produce so much fruit off of a relatively small tree. I'm really excited to get hundreds of fruit off of this fig tree this year. And the last thing that we're going to be harvesting today are these amazing blueberries. I got smart. I actually covered them this year because last year I was coming out here and I would see robins every single day just hopping up and just picking off all the berries, but not this year. I beat them this year, and just look at the gorgeous fruit sets of these berries, and I mean, oh my gosh. I know I hyped up the strawberries and the raspberries and the blackberries, but these blueberries, oh, they're just so good. I, these might be my favorite fresh berry out of all of them. Maybe it's because this is the first year that I'm actually getting my blueberries because they got stolen from me last year. But I mean, look at the clusters all over here. And this is one plant that I really need to plant more of. We only had 4 along this line, and we got this native tree that's growing. So this year we actually got 3 more plants from our native plant sale and planted them right along of our house in a more shaded area because they seem to thrive in partly shaded areas. But I mean, look at this. Who doesn't want to come outside and just harvest all of these berries in their backyard? I just love it. This is exactly what I love about gardening. It's like I don't really put very much effort into growing these fruits at all. Once you actually take the time to get them planted, they're just gonna grow on their own and continue to produce this fruit that you can just come outside and harvest year after year after year. The most important thing that I would say about growing any type of food on your property is plant things that you're going to be able to harvest all throughout the year. So get some things that you can harvest in early spring, like strawberries, harvest later in the year, like raspberries and blackberries and blueberries. And even later than that is when your figs and your apples and your peaches and your plums kick in. So that way you're harvesting a diversity of plants all throughout the year, and you're also changing your taste buds. Because let's be real, we all get tired of harvesting the same thing. Once you harvest your 100th zucchini from your plants that you're growing in your garden, which we all know if we just give them away, throw them on people's doorsteps and hope they take them, the garden does start to become a little bit boring. But by having this diversity, you're not going to only be more excited to come out here throughout the year from season to season, but you're also going to be more likely to have success because some years you're not going to get cabbage or blueberries or beets or peppers. Some things just aren't going to do as well. But when you plant a diversity of crops, I guarantee you, if you look hard enough, some things are just going to be exploding with production while other things are waning off. And those are the successes that you need to look at. Those are the successes that are going to keep you excited about gardening. And the only thing that you can do, because things are going to fail, use those failures and learn from them. And eventually, you'll be able to grow everything so well, and the garden will totally be worth it. Just know that this is an experience. You're not going to be able to do this the first year of gardening. And if you do, I congratulate you. But everything that we are growing here has taken time. We've been doing this for 7 years, but it has been so worth it. It's been an absolute joy transforming this space into what it has become today. And I'm determined to continue to take you along on this journey and help you to grow your own food and your own backyard homestead. Thanks so much for coming along with me on my backyard homestead tour and harvesting some veggies along the way. Just know, if it's your dream to build something like this, I'd love to help. You can obviously watch all of the videos I have on my channel, but I also offer personalized garden consultations and can even create your own designs for your specific space. We can do vegetable gardens or permaculture spaces or even design your whole backyard homestead. The sky is the limit. So if you want to work with me, check out all the links in the description, and I can't wait to help you design your own backyard homestead.